I want to get your take on the talk of the World Cup bid for 2030. Our old pal Boris launching his big push for it, and we're involved as well, potentially with the other four associations in these islands. And certainly the politicians are well behind it. Your view from having been involved in the FAI, and I think in previous lifetimes as well, might have a view on this. Is it something we should pursue?
Well, I'm kind of a little bit scarred by the bid for the World Cup that ended up in Qatar. I headed up the North East club's efforts to make a national bid, if you like, in the UK, and spent a lot of time. And to see it happen the way it was a Blatter special, if you remember, and how the votes went. So I didn't enjoy that experience at all. And having been in the FAI, I mean, I came in after the first dice was rolled on this, if you remember. Those in charge of the FAI at the time had met about it. There was revelations in a newspaper article, and they had a cut at some of the home members. That seems to have died down. There seems to have been a bit of a bridge built, and if you like, the new restructured FAI have done really well, I think, to get themselves in play here. Is it the be-all and end-all? As I said, I'm scarred, and at that time, it was all the talk about the legacy and how great it will be for years to come afterwards. Well, that doesn't play itself out with other countries that have had the World Cup. Will it be a lot of money spent that could be spent better elsewhere? These are the questions that will be asked. Will we, have a tournament where our own team could play in it and play matches here? That would be fantastic, but there's no guarantees here at all. And it's a rocky road to the announcement and when it happens. And you need to take a deep breath and get on with it and really push it. I think it'll be great if it happens, but I think I'd be cautious, is the word I would use, in its development.
Your experience of being involved in the England 2018 bid was that basically it was a rotten old process, and we need to be very careful to be wading into that. Is that what you're saying?
And there's other issues at play as well. What games will we get? The greatest respect, we get two international teams that won't even bring tourists to the area. Remember the great furore over us getting the Europa League final some years ago, and I think Braga and Porto came
well.
But you might remember it. So it doesn't always set out to be, and we kind of hurt as well, because a big effort went into staging the Euros here. Like, nobody knows about the work that went on behind the scenes. The Dublin Council, they were fantastic, all the work they put in, all the energy that was put in for 2 years to get us to the games this summer. Now we don't know if it's ever going to happen. So just tournaments, football, particularly the legacy is, you go to Brazil and some of the states, doesn't always work out. But it is positive to a point.
What about the point, Damien, that if there is money to be spent on a bid, schmoozing these people and building whatever needs to be built, that there is other places where it might go in the moment in Irish football?
I think we have enough problems on our own doorstep, really, without incurring any extra expense. If it would mean piggybacking the English bid and getting games at Croke Park, FIFA, and there wasn't a whole pile of work or money to be spent on it, I wouldn't be averse to that. But I mean, if we're talking about redeveloping Thurles and getting Japan and Ukraine down in Thurles, I'm not really sure about that.
Neither a hurling stronghold, of course.
Curry chips, or maybe.
So very much a lukewarm reception. 40,000-seater at Turner's Cross, of course. So
if we could get that, that might be something.
OK, so lukewarm reception for that.